Hello everyone, welcome to Horror and Monster Collectibles, where today we are going to be taking a look at a modification that I did to the Sideshow Collectibles AVP life-size egg. Now, I was never a huge fan of Alien vs. Predator, but I had always wanted a well-done life-size egg, and I felt like this was probably the best thing to get. Although I never loved the base that it came with was rather large and bulky, and it had the whole AVP theme to it, which it was an okay movie, but I wasn't really down with having that part of it. So I decided to chop everything up and modify it and shrink the footprint of it down to where it was something that I could be proud to have in my collection. All in all, this was a pain in the butt to do. I wouldn't recommend just anybody doing this, but if you have mechanical aptitude and you're creative and can paint, I would recommend doing it. You're taking a chance of devaluing it, yes, but I actually prefer the way it came out versus the way it was sold through Sideshow. And I'm kind of happy with it. A lot of it was happy accidents, but you know, you never know like how things are going to come out when you kind of start diving into a project this big. You kind of start cutting away and just go from there and just take it step by step. But I can kind of tell you the process that I took and kind of like the problems that I had and the right turns that I had to take as far as changing up my game plan on things. As some of you guys know, the original egg lit up from the inside, which that's a concept that I honestly wanted to keep when I started this project. My idea was to take a FACEHUGGER and put it on the inside and light it up so the shadow of the FACEHUGGER was in the egg. But unfortunately, I couldn't really get it to display right. I couldn't get the light in there well enough so where it looked proper. From most viewing angles, I could get it to look good from one angle, but from the other angles, it just wasn't working. So what I ended up doing was just getting rid of that concept, and I took and I painted the inside of the egg. This is all fiberglass, by the way. So was the bulk of the base. So I painted the inside black so it wasn't so translucent, and because I wanted to kind of darken things up. In doing that, I kept some areas light where I didn't go so heavy with the black on the inside, so it has some more coloring to it. And I'm kind of happy with that, the way that turned out. Spin around for you guys real quick so you can get an overall view, and then we'll kind of go into the details of what I did and the paints that I used. Alright guys, let's take a closer look now at the bottom of the base, since this is the main change that I did. This bottom piece is the actual MDF bottom to the Sideshow piece. I kept that. I just cut it down and narrowed the footprint of everything. I didn't want it taking up so much space. I wanted to kind of leave a little bit of a lip, but not too much. I wanted to do some kind of gooey stuff at the base of this to fill up this about 2-inch lip on here, but I didn't really have any plans. I was just really honestly going to go to Michael's or something like that and figure out what I could use. But I kind of happened across a lucky accident. I went over to Home Depot to find something to glue the egg to the MDF, and I found some Gorilla Glue. And when I glued it, I started noticing that it was expanding out. And this prompted me to think, well, I can just kind of play off of that and keep on building up layers of Gorilla Glue on here. So I kind of laid down some Gorilla Glue and kind of let it flow however it wanted. And then I kind of made some more layers up closer and it would flow out. And then it finally, like, I laid some really thin, narrow layers all in between here for some kind of, just some different textures through here. And I really was happy with the way everything came out. So next was time for painting. I just painted all of this black I just used Krylon flat black actually for all of this. I just sprayed it down. I was going to airbrush black, but it's just too time consuming. I could cover a lot of ground with the Krylon. After I laid down a black base coat, I wanted to add some color to it, so I took some raw sienna and I kind of highlighted some of the tops of some of the bubbles and stuff on here. They're not honestly bubbles, but they're, you know, bulges of the Gorilla Glue. So I laid down the sienna on there, that raw sienna, and then I wanted to add a little bit of green for all these pieces. So I took and mixed some Tamiya black and some olive green. I mixed those together and made like a dark green with it because I didn't want to go too bright. I wanted to kind of keep it mucky but have some colors in there to give it some depth. And I went with the green all through here with all of like the little tiny stringy pieces that I created on the platform. I'm pretty happy with the way it all came out. We'll go ahead and spin it around so you can take a closer look at the base bottom. And you'll notice throughout here as you're spinning, there's kind of some pieces where like there's air bubbles in the Gorilla Glue that would kind of rise up and kind of open up. And to me, like that just worked out even better as far as trying to get gnarly like texture and stuff that you typically see at the base of an alien egg. So we'll spin around and let you guys take a closer look at this stuff. As far as the rest of the egg is concerned, besides adding a black coat to the inside of the fiberglass, on the outside it was very flat on top of here, so I added a gloss clear coat just to the opening on here to weten things up a bit, and I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out as well. I think it's looking pretty good and pretty realistic as well. I'll spin that around for you guys. And finally, here's a shot of the bottom of the egg. You can see the old Sideshow print on here. And it was number 4 of 500. But now I guess that's kind of changed and it doesn't really mean anything anymore. But still, I'm glad I kept the artwork on the bottom of it. I kind of like that. So there it is. It's about 21 inches tall and about 16 inches wide now. And I know the modification is not for everyone, but I am happy with the way it turned out, and that's most important. And it's also something to keep me busy. I love little projects like this. They're kind of fun little craft stuff for the uber nerd. But anyway, as always, feel free to like and subscribe and click the bell for notifications for new videos. And feel free also to leave any questions or comments that you might have, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. And I'll go ahead and throw up some pics now of the process that I took to get to this point. I hope you guys like it, and I will see you guys later.